Okay, so we're going to start looking at the electrics. I need to get the car out to do that, but I run the battery flats and recharging at the moment. So let's just have a look at what's working. So if we start with our side lights. Right, so we've got a side light working front right, but not left. If we go on to the headlights, headlights for both are working, but clearly this one would be stronger if it had the side light as well on the left. Then if we go to full beam, and so on full beam, well, I can see a difference from the car for the one on the right, but I couldn't tell for the one on the left, so I don't know about that. Can't test the indicators at the front yet because I haven't got those installed at this time. So now let's go and look at what we've got at the back. Oh. So at the back, so that should be side lights, and with that we've got a side light on the left coming on, but not on the right. This should be the hazard lights, and again we can see it working on the left but not on the right. That's needs to be. So that's the left turn indicator, which doesn't flash, it just comes on. And the right turn indicator doesn't do anything. And I hit the brake a couple of times, and that I believe worked on the left and not the right, but I haven't checked recently. And we haven't done reverse lights, but we can do that at some point. So we can see basically, for the most part, the left hand side is working at the back, front, right hand side of the front, but not working on the reverse. And so we'll deal with that. And then we need to look at that indicator and why it's not flashing. And then we can move on to the next bit. Okay, so we've had a bit of a detour. Well, I left the charger on the battery overnight. I also left the lights on, so it didn't charge. So we've been doing a bit of cleaning. So we've got the chair out. Just cleaned up the carpets a bit and the dash. You can see far end what I haven't cleaned compared to what I have. We're taking the seat out. This was these two runners, this is where the runners go, both a bit rusty, surface rust, so we cleaned that off and then we'll put Hammerite on it to protect it. You can see the runners here. This is the kind of state the other it was in terms of rust, so we've cleaned off the one on the left. We're going to do the one on the right next, and then we'll get some silver paint on it. And then over here, two carpets which were filthy, we've cleaned off. Haven't done the chair yet. I've run out of carpet cleaner or upholstery cleaner, so the chair's going to stay as is for now. But we'll get the metal sorted. We'll get some paint on that to protect it a bit. We're not going to do the whole chair at this point, but you know, since we're here we might as well do this. Okay, so this is the wiring diagram for my MGB, and this is the front parking lights here. So we can see that the left one comes from here and the right one comes from number 4. So the left one isn't working and the right one is, whereas at the back, if I recall correctly, the right is working and the left isn't, and in both cases these go to the left and this goes to the right. So we've got something going on strange back here, I think. So that's the next thing we'll check, or the first thing we'll check, is what's happening with this wire, and do we have connectivity back here. Okay, so side lights. So the issue here is the red cable. See if I unplug that, it goes off. If I plug it in again, which I can't do one-handed, comes back on. I've got power to the red cable over here. On this side, I can't get any, I'm not getting any power. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is try to track back to the red cable and what's causing that. But before I do that, I'm going to clear up in the garage a bit, bring the car back in out of the rain so I can do it inside. Ta-da! Right, so what did we have there? I think we had a bad connection in the fuses, so we gave those a bit of a clean. And we've now got side lights working. Let's just check headlights as well now. So there's both headlights, and finally if we go to full beam, not sure which one was full beam, to be honest, so that's one way. This is clicked the other. Oh, well, I can't tell which is brighter, but we got headlights working. Yay! Okay, so we've got the front working now. I've just checked the back again. The reverse lights are working, the brake lights are working, and the tail lights are working. So it's just the indicators and hazards. So that all comes through here by the look of it. It looks awfully complicated, but I'm not quite sure everything's going. Why on earth is the tacho connected to the heater switch? Oh. And then the hazard, and we've got the hazard flasher. Right, so this looks complicated to me, but some of this might just be naming, of course. So, what are we going to do? I think, first of all, with the left indicator, I'm wondering if it's not flashing because there's no bulb at the front, and I wonder if there's something about the amount of power going through and all that kind of stuff. So I think I've still got the old rubber bumper indicators for the front. I'm going to see if I can temporarily connect those up and see if that makes a difference first. And once I've done that, I'll come back and have another look at this diagram and if that's made a difference or not, and take it from there. Okay, so I've got the hazard lights on, as you can see there, flashing, but not flashing on this side. And when I try to connect up here, you can see I'm only getting 0.2 something volts. If I do it on the other side, just unplug. Oh, excuse me. So on the other side, well, that's going down quickly. It was up at 8 before, so I've clearly got battery problems still. But we can see there that on this side, on the left, we've got a lot more power coming through than we have on the right, so we're losing it somewhere, or we have a bad connection somewhere, so that's what we've got to find next. So that is what we're going to look for. Okay, so how did we achieve that? Well, I just put a bit of pressure on the indicator switch, pressed down, found that the light then came on. When I checked the hazards, I found that they're both working. So I don't think that's a fix, but I think that tells me where the problem is. So I'm going to see if the indicator works in a similar way now. And there we have it. A bit of pressure on the indicator down is bringing this on. So I must have a poor connection or something in there, which needs sorting. But that's not too bad, so that's alright. So we'll have a little play with that, see if we can tidy that up a bit and call it good. Okay, so this episode was meant to be about the electrics, and we went through early on and got all the lights working except for the flashes weren't working quite right. So I've got now new flasher units for the front. So these, so for the front, these fit in here, I think. Actually, I'm not sure they do. I think they might end up having to go in here. I might have to cut that out. Oh, the bumper will go across here. This must be above it. I'm going to have to cut that out. Oh, blimey. Well, that's going to be fun. Anyway, but in the meantime, we're just going to hook up the wiring to it here and then test to see if the flashes work or not. My guess is they're not going to, and I'm going to have to replace the flash unit inside the car. But we're going to test that out first. Okay, so we can see we've got the flasher on. Okay. Let's got the brake on by the look of it. Is that the handbrake? Probably. So we've got the flasher unit on. But not working on this side, connected up here. So if we just unplug that, excuse me whilst I put you down. Okay. So you can see we're getting very low voltage coming through on the unit. Okay, it's definitely coming through because when I take it out, alright, if I just touch it to something else, touch it myself, but in here, you know, half a volt maybe. So I've got a problem there, so I need to track that back first. There we go. I know it takes me a while to work through these things sometimes, but clearly I didn't have it earthed, so wasn't completing the circuit. So there we have it. So we know the flasher unit works, it's just not flashing. So we'll just quickly test also the hazards, and these should work because there we go, we've got it flashing at the back and we've got it flashing at the front. Okay, so we know our hazards work, so it's the flasher unit that's faulty, so I need to order one of those. That's fine. So now we'll try to sort out the side lights as well. Okay, and there we have the side light working. Interesting thing about that is I've plugged it into the wire which would be for the headlight side lights, because I only appear to have one connection at the front here, which is there. So I think I'm going to have to change this plug here over to have, you know, go from 1 to 2. in order to get that working properly. And so the same will occur on the other side. So what we're going to do now, and I won't bother to show you, I'm going to just test the other side as well, make sure it works there, and we'll go from there. But I think that'll be the end of this episode. So what's it's proven to me? Well, I need to get the car warmed up before I try doing the timing. I need a flasher unit. Some of the electrics are a bit dodgy, but they're all working in terms of the lighting, I think. So, oh, and I'm going to have to do something about these for the front. And I'm going to have a lovely job doing the installing them at the beginning front, but we'll get to that. So yeah, so that looks okay. You know, maybe I don't actually, maybe it doesn't get cut out if it goes on. Oh, look at that, the earth's off and it's still working. That must have just been not a good enough connection. So maybe it goes down there, get it in far enough. Just go over like that, wouldn't it? Probably the other way around. And as long as that's above the bumper, I'm not sure if it is, but as long as it is, then that'd be okay like that. Gonna have to have a look.